chim chim chiroo. Hi!
Jim Carrey is rightfully considered one of the best comedians of our time. For many years, the actor delighted the audience with funny images, which were given special entertainment by indescribable facial expressions and plastic. But, despite the abundance of comedic roles in movies, the biography of a celebrity can hardly be called fun and easy. The path to fame was thorny and full of failures, which the performer endured with dignity. Childhood and youth. James Eugene Carrey was born in early 1962 in the Canadian city of Newmarket. He was the youngest child in a large family and grew up with his sisters Patricia and Rita, as well as his older brother John. The artist's parents were engaged in music in the past, but left the dream of the stage. My mother settled at home, and my father became an accountant. According to the recollections of the performer, my mother was ill. Kathleen suffered from hypochondria and constantly attributed to herself the symptoms of various diseases, because of which others considered her insane. Wanting to cheer her up somehow, Jim began to practice humor. He made funny faces and made parodies which entertained his father and family friends, who adored the little comedian. At the age of 11, the boy was already thinking about a career as a comedian. He ventured to send Carol Burnett a message in which he told her that he could decorate her show. Carrey was overjoyed when he received the answer, even if it was formal. But soon I had to forget about humor, because hard times came. The family had lived modestly before, and after his father was fired from work, they had to move into a van altogether. The situation improved when Percy got a job as an accountant at a tire factory. They were allowed to occupy a house across the street from the enterprise, but as payment for accommodation, Jim and his brother were forced to do the work of security guards and janitors. Shifts lasted for 8 hours. Carrey was 16 years old when he dropped out of school to devote himself to comedy. At first, the young man worked at a factory and thought about getting a job at a steel mill in the future. But, to the delight of the audience, Jim managed to become a comedian, having made a difficult path for this. Humor and parodies. The young man got his first experience of performing on stage at the age of 15. His father took him to the local Yak Yak Club, where Jim managed to show his number. However, the audience booed the future Hollywood star. After that, he withdrew into himself for a while. When the financial situation of the family improved, Carrey decided to return to the stage. He perfected the number, which was greeted with delight by the audience. Soon the comedian not only became a star in Yak Yak, but also began to receive money for performances. Inspired by the success, Jim went to the USA, where he auditioned for the show Saturday Night Live, but was refused. In the following years, he repeatedly made attempts to get into the troupe of the entertainment program, but they were unsuccessful. Then the young comedian was forced to return to Canada to continue performing in clubs. Soon Carrey was noticed and even wrote about him in the local newspaper, which allowed him to receive the first invitation to television. Jim moved to Los Angeles, where he drew the attention of the famous comedian Rodney Dangerfield, who invited the young man to tour with him. After their completion, the comedian performed for a while at the Comedy Store Club and regularly attended auditions, dreaming of breaking into the cinema. But before that happened, Carrey repeatedly appeared on television, delighting viewers with funny parodies of celebrities. He was noted for his vivid images in the entertainment program In Living Color and even managed to release his own stand-up show. In 1996, already being popular, Jim finally got on Saturday Night Live. In sketches, he parodied popular films, celebrities, and himself. The actor danced disco and ballet, pretended to be a tourist, portrayed a singer, lifeguard, or fitness trainer. A sketch from the Roxbury Guys series, which is better known as What Is Love, according to the refrain of the song playing in the video, has gained viral popularity. Carrey with Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan played brothers who are unable to meet girls. Most of the action took place in the car as the partygoers drove from party to party. The scenes were so much loved by the audience that a full-length film A Night at the Roxbury was made based on their motives. In the future, Jim repeatedly returned to the show as a guest performer. In 2020, he appeared for a while in the image of Joe Biden. Films. The performer's screen career began in his youth with participation in low-budget television films such as Rubberface and Copper Mountain. But the first wave of popularity came after the release of the sitcom The Duck Factory. At that time, Jim was making good money and even managed to move his parents to Los Angeles. But a year later, the show was closed, which is why the actor was on the verge of severe depression. For a while, Carrey disappeared from the screens, again devoting himself to stand-up. Then during one of his performances he was noticed by director Howard Storm, who invited him to audition for the comedy Once Bitten. After a while, roles in the films Peggy Sue Got Married and High Strung followed. But success and world fame came to the actor in 1994 after the release of the tape Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. The shooting of the picture was accompanied by many problems, from a low budget to the ill-considered nature of the main character. But Jim took matters into his own hands, having achieved participation in the film by Courtney Cox and the band Cannibal Corpse. He worked out the image of his character himself, came up with jokes and an eccentric style. The result exceeded all expectations. The film grossed $100 million at the box office, although the actor himself received a modest $350,000 for all his efforts and was out of favor with critics. He was even nominated for the Golden Raspberry Anti-Award. Recognition came later, and Ace Ventura took pride of place in the list of cult characters. The success was helped by the release of the comedy The Mask, in which the rising star Cameron Diaz became Carrey's partner. Playing a shy office worker Stanley Ipkiss, the artist recalled his father, and the costume of his alter ego mask resembled the one that his mother once sewed. The film was received with delight, nominated for BAFTA and Oscar. In addition to Jim and Cameron, another performer of the main role, a dog named Max, who played Milo, received public recognition. The scene where the dog tries on a mask was called one of the funniest in cinema. Carrey's next notable work was the tape Dumb and Dumber. The actor again contributed to the creation of the image of his hero and insisted on changing the final scene in which his Lloyd and Harry, played by Jeff Daniels, had to get on the bus. The reward for his efforts was laudatory reviews from the audience and a fee of $7 million. 1995 was marked by the premiere of the sequel Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, which was a rare exception for the artist, who preferred not to participate in sequels. At the same time, he appeared before the audience in the image of the Riddler from the movie Batman Forever. The following year, Jim appeared in the movie The Cable Guy, for which he received $20 million for the first time in his career. Since then, the performer rarely agreed to withdraw if the amount of the fee was lower. According to the celebrity, it was not money that was important to him, but a sense of success and demand. Soon Carrey pleased the audience with another vivid image, embodying Fletcher Reed in the film Liar Liar. For the sake of this role, the artist refused to participate in the filming of the comedy Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Curiously, Liar Liar is the first picture where the audience was able to contemplate the natural hair color of their favorite actor. Before that, Jim was filmed either in wigs with unthinkable hairstyles or with wildflower hair. The film earned the star a second Golden Globe nomination and an MTV award. Although Carrey achieved success as a comedian, he did not stop at the role of a comedian. In 1998, the actor played the main role in the drama The Truman Show. There are funny moments in the tape, but first of all, the performer sought to show the full depth of the experiences of a person who found out that his whole life is a reality show. This time, critics and viewers agreed that the tape was a success. The artist did not stop there and soon auditioned to participate in the drama Man on the Moon, based on the biography of comedian Andy Kaufman. He had to compete with recognized masters of reincarnation for the role, but Jim was not inferior to them in talent. On the set, he got so used to the image that he asked everyone to call him by the name of the character. With the advent of the new century, Carrey returned to the genre of comedy that brought him popularity. He starred in the film Me, Myself and Irene, where he played a policeman with a split personality. As a result, I had to try on 2 different images at once in the frame. Later, the family film How the Grinch Stole Christmas was released. Jim grew up on stories about this fictional character, so it was important for him to reveal the character on the screens. Every day it took 3 hours to make up and even more than 1 hour was required to put on an uncomfortable suit. After the premiere, critics coolly accepted The Christmas Tale, but years later it also became a cult. Another wave of audience love struck the artist in 2003, when the comedy Bruce Almighty was shown. During the filming, a tragedy almost happened. The operator's crane fell, which miraculously did not touch Jennifer Aniston. But Carrey showed heroism and pushed his partner away in time. It was possible to try on the dramatic image again while working on the tape Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, in which the star was paired with Kate Winslet. Years later, the actor admitted in an interview that the image of Joel suffering from depression and uncertainty was closest to him. And he put the shooting in this picture on the same level as The Truman Show. Later, participation in the film Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events followed. And in 2007, Jim decided to experiment again and starred in Joel Schumacher's mystical thriller number 23. Critics reacted coolly to the work, as well as to the cartoon A Christmas Carol, created in motion capture technology. Another atypical role for Carrey was in the drama I Love You, Philip Morris, where Ewan McGregor became his partner. Jim played Stephen Russell, a guy with an unconventional orientation. There were a lot of problems with the film. Because of the explicit scenes, they did not agree to show it in cinemas, but still it was released. Fans and critics reacted coolly to the project, and the artist returned to filming comedies. Among them is the family film Mr. Popper's Penguins, in which Jim got the role of a businessman who became the owner of an unexpected inheritance. In the future, the performer appeared on the screens less and less. The main premiere of 2018 was the TV series Kidding. In it, the comedian embodied the TV presenter of a children's show, trying to please the public against the backdrop of tragedies in his personal life. Thanks to positive reviews, the project was extended for the second season. 2 years later, the actor appeared in the family comedy Sonic the Hedgehog, based on a series of games about Sonic the Hedgehog. He had to play the main antagonist Dr. Robotnik. The film received average ratings, but was warmly received at the box office. Music. In 1979, the future actor, having no musical education, founded the band Spoons, which played in the style of new wave. The band did not last long, but Jim's vocal skills later came in handy on television and in movies. He recorded soundtracks for films and created musical parodies. Among the tracks most loved by listeners performed by a celebrity is Somebody to Love, a cover of the hit Jefferson Airplane. Carrey also recorded several songs for the comedy How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Personal life. There were a lot of dramas in the personal life of the star. In 1987, Carrey married Melissa Womer, who at the time of their acquaintance was a waitress at the Comedy Store. Soon the couple had a daughter, Jane Eyring. But the marriage was not strong and ended in divorce. The actor had to pay his ex-wife $7 million in compensation. The breakup negatively affected the mental health of the star. Jim became depressed and started using antidepressants, which soon stopped helping. Then he took a step towards a healthy lifestyle and took up sports, replacing pills with vitamins. The artist maintained a warm relationship with his daughter, whom he tried to provide with everything necessary. In February 2010, he became a grandfather. Jane gave birth to a boy named Jackson Riley. Lauren Holly. A year after the divorce, Carrey remarried. His chosen one was actress Lauren Holly, but this marriage also turned out to be short-lived. After 10 months, the couple divorced. In the future, the performer met with many famous ladies of Hollywood. An affair with Renee Zellweger. On the set of the film Me, Myself and Irene, the artist got close to his partner on the set, American actress Renee Zellweger. The actors even announced their engagement, but shortly before the wedding they decided to break up. Later, Jim regretted it and even called the performer the love of my life. It was also not possible to find personal happiness with the subsequent chosen ones, Dr. Tiffany Silver and model Jenny McCarthy. Relationship with Catriona White. The most complex and mysterious story from the personal life of the star is an affair with Catriona White, who was 25 years younger. The girl turned out to be mentally ill and shortly after the breakup committed suicide by swallowing pills. Relatives of the deceased accused the actor of her death. The trials lasted until 2018. Shortly after Carrey was cleared of all charges, he appeared in public with a new chosen one, actress Ginger Gonzaga. But this novel didn't last long either. Jim Carrey now. At the beginning of 2022, the actor celebrated his anniversary. He turned 60 years old. In honor of this, fans remembered all the brightest works in the idol's filmography. In the spring, he pleased them with a new project, the continuation of the tape Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And in March, Carrey announced his retirement. According to the actor, he has done enough in the film industry and now celebrities like a quiet life. Jim noted, he will return to the set only if the project is really important to people.